of them old things like me. Cassette recorder. 1932. And I go back and double and triple check myself, but I still sometimes do. It's just that way. Anyway, right up here at the top of this one is the word that I left out. So I wrote it in at the top of the page on 1932. It is up there, isn't it? Or did I get it after I copied it? I've got to go on to the next volume. 1932. That was a good year, wasn't it, Marilyn?
Yeah, so what?
1932. Amazing things happen. The first inbred hillbillies is what I entitled it. Leacock. And the Noske. Yep. Avinu. Yayin. We nish can, or we nish keva. Now in modern Hebrew that would be what? Vid nish. We nish keva. We are vid. The whiz are vid. All right. The vowels are vowels. That's Yiddish. That's the German accent to it. Ivo. You ne ha ye. Me a binu. Zara. Okay. Mikam. Come. Come. That's an imperative, masculine, singular, call, and come. Now, call and call, stem. The old Hebrew grammar did not have it called stem. Like that. It was called. How many of you did that? Cindy did, because I told you. She doesn't forget anything. You know what? If I fell over up here, she could just teach this class. I know she could. She could do it. She doesn't miss anything. Call and call. All right, it's the same stem. If you see a Hebrew grammar that has call in it, you'll know it's call stem. Call and call. It doesn't sound much different, but that's the way it is. The modern Yiddish changed it from call and call. Come, let us cause to drink. Let us cause to drink. First person plural, ithel, cohort in meaning. Cohortic in meaning. Et, sign with the direct object. Avinu, our Father. How would you say that in modern Hebrew? Avinu. Abba. Abba. All right. Yayin. Wine. Yayin. What's wine in Greek? What's wine in Greek? Oinos. Oinos. In the Septuagint, it's just oinon here. Oinon, because that's a Tuesday singular. Right? Oinon. Let us cause our Father to drink wine. And let us lie. First person plural, cal cohorti. And if you look down there at page 1011 and page 1486. 1011 in Brown Driver's Briggs, page 1486 in Kohler and Baumgartner, if you have that. You might be able to look them up. I don't do very much with the computer. I have books. You know, I'm an antique fossil, prehistoric times. I look at books. But I know that you can look at a lot of things online. Let us lie with him. All right? Let us lie with him. Uni hayeh, that we may preserve life, intensely preserve life. We want to grab onto life. First person corporal plural, PL cohortive in meaning. Right? L. Lord is in meaning. From our father, me avinu. Me is what? That's your little preposition from there on the front of it, okay? From the same elements. Sometimes it remains from the same elements. All right? From our father. We're going to get from our father Zara, which is seed or sperm. Spermatos. We're going to get sperm from our father. 1933. What? Tashkenah. Et. Abihen. Yayin. Bal la laila. Q. Wa haba. Had. Be kira. What tishkal. Et. Abiha. Willow. Yada. Bishi. Bishikva. Ubikuma. And they cause to drink. Third person plural. All right? Third person feminine plural. Look at that feminine plural down there. All right? They, the females, cause to drink. Kithel, wow, consecutive and perfect. Not only did they cause him to drink, they just kept on filling the cup up. All right? Just kept on filling his cup with wine. Lots of alcohol. Their father. All right? Their father. Abihan. The father of them. Yaim, and what is the Greek word for that? What is the Greek word for wine? Oinos. How do you say it? How do you say grape juice? Not grape juice. How do you say grape juice in Greek? Yanamatos teson plou. Yanamatos teson plou. Yanamatos teson plou. Fruit of the vine. Okay? Like grape juice. Va laya la. Va laya la. In, see that base on the front of that? Base. In night. All right? They gave this wine to him in night when he was going to go to sleep. And then Hugh and she and came in and penetrated their firstborn. And she lay, and she kept on laying. She lay and she kept on laying, and this is the act of sex is what it's talking about right there. It's just plain as you can see it. Hebrew just tells you what's happening. With her father, all right, with her father, Willow, and not he did know, and not he did know, Bashikva, her lying down and her rising up. Her lying down, cal infinitive construct. And then we have cal infinitive construct again. Her lying down and her rising up. Let's go 1934 now. This sentence is broken down in two parts. Wahi mem ma chara. Okay, that word, that T on the end of that is actually a soft T, so it's like a TH sound. A th, all right? So you write a little H at the end of that, just a little bit, all right? Watamar. Why is it Watamar instead of Wyomer? It's a, thank you, young lady. A plus again. See there, I told you she didn't miss anything. Watamar, that cow in there means it's feminine. Okay? The cow in there means it's feminine. It's not Wyomer, it's Watamar. Ha-be-kira. El. Hats. Se. Ira. Now, Hatzeirah in modern Hebrew, in Yiddish, would be Hasirana. See the TS in there? You wouldn't have the TS sound. Sadhe, Sadhe, Sadhe starts with a T. Sadhe, a TS sound. So that's Hatzeirah. And then hen, Shak, Shakviti, Shakvi. Yemesh, Es, Avi, Nashkenu, Yayin, Gam, Halayla. See, you didn't know what the name Lila meant, did you? Now you know the name Lila means night. We don't have anybody here named Lila, do we? Not here. All right? You boy, Shikve, Emo, Uni Hayeh, Mi Abinu, Zara. Roger, I want you to go in Leanne's class, or in Leanne's class also, aren't you? Tell her I'm saying it both ways. This Hebrew. All right. Wahi. How would you say that in modern Hebrew? Bahi. All right. And it became, and kept on becoming, from Maro. All right. Memacharot. Memacharot. It would be in modern Hebrew, Memacharot. Because you've actually got a CH sound there with a check. All right. And then Waktamar, or Vaktamar, whichever way you want to say it. Ha Bebikirah. The firstborn. Ha, the firstborn. Okay? Unto El. Now, if you look underneath all of these, you will see the page number in Brown, Driver, and Briggs to look up that word. Okay? El is God also, isn't it? But right here, it's unto. Hatzirah, the younger one. Hen, behold. Shak biti. I kept on laying. I have laid. All right, I have lain, or that's what happens, perfect tense. I have lain, or I lay. Yesterday. I have the word night in there. That's implied. That's what you call a practical substantive. Yesterday night. They knew, we know what time it was. She said already the Halayla, the night. All right. Yesterday, with my father. Let us cause him to keep on drinking oinos, yayin. Again, what's the other word for Greek? And for grape juice? Yamamoto Saison blue. Yamamoto Saison blue. All right. Also, gone. What is also there in Greek? What would that be? Aha. Kai. Kai. It's Kai, page 208, by the way. It means and, or also, or but, or even yes. Also, Halayla, the night. And you go in, and you keep on going in, all right? And you lie with him. Lie with him on top, with him. And we may forcibly preserve. We may forcibly preserve. That word force in there, see that PLCM? You know what they did? They raped their father. That's what they did. These two girls did. They raped their father. That's exactly what happened. From our father, Me Avinu. From our father, Zerah, seed or spermatos. All right? In the Septuagint, it says, exonamaste somen. It means we may resurrect out of the Father of us. We may resurrect. We may resurrect life, or we may get life out of the Father of us. Exonaste somen. We may resurrect out of our Father, Himon, his seed. Seed of Him. or seed of us. That's what you call line breeding. In horses and dogs and chickens and things like that, this is what you call line breeding. You breed back. You have a father and a mother, all right? And you have progeny, issues, okay? You take the females and you breed them back over the father, the daughter, and you have line bred. This child will be 3/4 from the father, 1/4 from the mother. You take the child and you breed it back to the mother with a child, the son, and you got 3/4 from the mother and 1/4 from the father. And you can keep on doubling them back. You take this issue and you breed it back to the grandmother, then the great-grandmother, the great-grandmother, and you can get down there where you're about 1/32. All back to the mother's side or all back to the father's side. That's what you call line breeding. Here we have line breeding from what? How many of you know about line breeding? Inbreeding is when you breed brothers and sisters. It's all incest, whichever way you look at it. Inbreeding is brothers and sisters. And line breeding is father to daughter and mother to son or grandson or whatever. They do that in animals. They do that in animals. You go back to the original. If you've lost, or if you're losing a line and you don't have any more, you take a mother and you breed it to another species, or the same species, and then you go back and you take the issue, the male, and go back to the mother, and go back to the mother, the next generation, till you come back where you're almost pure on the mother's side. Has anyone ever heard of that? No? You have. All right. That's genetics. 1935. 1935. What tash hina? Gom. Malila. Haku. Et. Remember, it's got a TH on the end of it. Modern Hebrew, it's et. Real strong. Et. Abihin. Yayin. Wat ta gom. Hatsisera. Watish Kavi. All right. Yamo. Willow. Yada. Bish. Ikva. Yishikva. You. V. Kuma. And they caused and kept on causing to drink also in night that their father, Winos, Yayin, wine. And she rose up, kept on rising up, the younger, and she kept on lying. She kept on lying with him. And not did he know this. He did not remember this. See, that's perfect tense there. Not did he know. All right? In her lying down and in her rising up. All right? In her lying down and her rising up. 1936. How do you say night in Hebrew? All right. How do you say night in Greek? Our word comes right out of that. That's niktos. 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 All right. Watahirina. Shati. Beno. Lot. What does lot mean? Secret. Dark. Hidden. All right. Mi'avihin. And caught and kept. And caught and kept. And caught and kept seed or sperm. Third person feminine, plural. And they taught and kept. Third person feminine, plural, cal, while consecutive and perfect. 2, how do you say that in Greek? You got a word duo out of that, or ego. All right. Dos in Hebrew, and dos is in Spanish. All right. Degateros. That is the daughters. All right. That's the note, or degateros in Greek. Lot. All right. I wish I'd have brought around there in Briggs. I'd had you look it up while we were here so you can look the different things up. I'm going to teach you how to do that. It's a lot of extra work to bring up a lot of those books in here, but I'm on to do that. From their father, Me'avihem. Me'avihem. Men is where it comes from. Men. That's where it comes from. Okay, they dropped that off, and it's still from, okay? By the way, while we're doing this, look up here. You know what this... You ever heard of who, what, where, when, and why? That's what they teach you in school when you're trying to interpret this book. This morning I was talking about biblical interpretation, and we need to even do that with whatever book of the Bible we're studying, or if you're studying history or whatever. The first thing when you get a book, what do you do to it? What's the first thing you do when you get a book? Huh?
Read the cover.
Read the cover. That's the first thing. You want to find out what you're going to be reading. Then you find out about the author. And you find out, if you possibly can, you find out what the author believes. Where he stands on politics or wherever. Okay? And then you're going to interpret it from that point of view. Always. When you get an analytical Greek lexicon, or a Hebrew lexicon, when you get that lexicon, you read about the writer of the lexicon, the lexicographer. You read about him and find out where he stands. Where is he coming from? What religion is he? Where did he live? Where did he study? Whatever. And then you can tell how he's going to write. When I have written, I'm a Baptist, and I make no excuse for that. That's what I am. If I wasn't a Baptist, I'd be ashamed. They'd always say, what would you be if you weren't a Baptist? I'd be ashamed. That's what I'd be. The Bible made me that way, and so did history. That's the simple way it is. Okay? Well, when I write any lexicon, and when I teach church history, if Baptist has been wrong in church history, you better believe that I'm going to tell you about it. Simple as that. If they've gone off on the wrong foot, if they're going off on the wrong foot today, I'm just going to tell you the way it is. I'm just a stupid savage. I have no better sense than to tell the truth.
You told us this morning.
Yes. That's just the way it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. I heard people, I've been teaching out on the radio for years, and I had one guy come in there and I talked about Martin Luther. I said, Martin Luther caused the Holocaust. Woo! Boy, this guy hit the roof like that. That's a wonderful Christian man. I said, Martin Luther caused the Holocaust. I said, I didn't change history. I didn't do anything. I just told the truth. That's what happened. He sat down, and of course, who did he study from? Who did he study from? Who? Augustine. That's his brother. Augustine or Augustine, if you want to pronounce it that. See, I know I have different ways to pronounce this word. I did read. How do you say? Do you know that place when you walk into a church, that little opening place? What's that called? What is it? A foyer. It's not a foyer. It's a foyer. But I can say foyer or foyer. That's what it's supposed to be. All right, foyer. All right. Let's go on. Who, what, where, when, and why? Who's speaking? Who's he speaking to, or to whom is he speaking, and what is the subject? That'll get you out of a lot of trouble when you start interpreting the Bible, or history, or anything else. Okay? When you study the Bible, we did that in Matthew the 5th chapter this morning. We unfolded that. All right? And cause to drink also in the night, that their father had wine, and he rose up, the younger, and lay with him, and he didn't know if they were rising up or laying down. And she caught and kept seed, the two daughters, they caught and kept seed, two daughters from their father. So now we got two girls pregnant. That's startling. We're going to find out this two groups of people, two nations in the Bible. Two nations that would constantly give Israel trouble. Constantly give Israel trouble. What are they? Ha-bikirah, then what? Tikra, Shemo, Moab, Moab, Hu, Abi, Moab, Ad, Hayom, and she burst and succeeded in it. Look at this. Third person feminine singular, cow, wow, consecutive, and perfect. She gave birth and it worked. It's what we call the imperfect tense, or else it kept on being. The child was born. Now, if the child had died, what would have happened? The birth would not have been completed, but the birth was completed. The firstborn, Ha-bikirah, son, Ben. Son means what? What does son mean? Ben, what does it mean? It's
according to a pattern.
According to a pattern. All right. This one was 3/4 of the pattern as the father. This child is 3/4 lot. Literally. This child is 3/4 lot. I bet they look just like their daddy. Because he was also their grandfather. All right? So they're 3/4 from Lot. Okay? I bet nobody ever taught this one before. 3/4. This son, according to a pattern, was 3/4 Lot. All right? Latikra. And she kept on calling. She proclaimed and kept on proclaiming Shemo. Shem means what? Name, monument, or pillar. All right? She kept on calling his name Moab. All right, Moab. Now, we have Moab there. That comes from Mem. See that Mem? And then what? Ab. What does that mean? Tell me what that means. Mem, Mayim is what? Waters. Waters from what? Water from the father. Sperm from the father. That's exactly what you call it. What a weird name to call your child. Water from the father. She was proud of this. That she had this child from her father. All right? Semen or water from the father. He, father, Moab. All right? The father, Moabi. He's the father of the Moabites. All right, so here we have the Moabites. Now we see them in the Bible. These are troublemakers, aren't they? Troublemakers. Odd, unto, ha-yom, unto the day. In the Septuagint it says, us tes semeron hemeros, until the same day, until this very day. The very day of the writing of this scripture. Now, a lot of people, when I first started reading the Bible when I was young, I'd say, and it's just called this until this day. And I say, I think that's today. The time I'm reading the book. But in the first 5 books of Moses, that's way back in Moses' day. What it's talking about until that day. So it's called Moabite until the day of the writing of this book. See, we have to say who's speaking, who's he speaking to, and what's the subject. So that settles what this is talking about. That's a pretty simple illustration right there, but it's true. 1938. The other inbred, son of my people, my relatives. All right, the other inbred, the other hillbilly. He was in the hills in the cave, wasn't he? All right. Talk about hillbillies all married brothers and sisters and everything back in the woods a long time ago in America. That's when they had 3 eyes and 4 ears and stuff like that, you know. Wahatsira. Dom. He. Yelida. Ben. Watikra. Shamo. Ben. Ami. Q. Abi. Bene. Amo. Od. Hayom. All right. And the younger, Wahatsibra. All right. And the younger also, she had birthed or born son, and she called and kept on calling and kept on proclaiming his name, son of my people, son of my father, or son of my people, people of my people. He's inbred. That's what you call him. A child of my people. All right? 3/4 lot again. 3/4 lot. And he fathered sons of Ammon unto the day. He's the father of the sons of Ammon unto this day. Wayisa. 20th verse 1. We're in the 20th chapter now. You didn't think we'd ever get here, did you, Cindy? Misham. See that little dent in the middle of that shin there? That means it's a double shin. Misham. Misham. Avraham. Artsah. Ha-Negev. Now you know what Negev means, don't you? Wayishev. Ben. Kadesh. Yuvan. Shur. Yagar. Bigrar. All right. Are you picking this up a little bit? Are you picking it up? Brother Abe, are you picking up on some of this? You learn a little bit of Hebrew? You understand? From the Hebrew, we learned that there are a lot of names. Right? And pulled up tent pegs. Wayisha. And pulled up tent pegs. That's what it means. Moved or pulled up tent pegs. From there, Misham, Abraham. What does Abraham mean? Abraham. What? Okay, exalted father of a multitude. The exalted father of a multitude. Right? His old name was what? Avram. All right? Avram meant what? Exalted father. How come it's father of a multitude? What makes it that way? Well, when you add the hay in there in it, and then you've got an M on the end of it, that means the multitude. All right? Artsah, the land. That's Aretz. All right? Artsah, to land, the south. Ha-Negev. Negev means the southland. All right? Wayishev. And they kept on dwelling there. Third person masculine, he kept on dwelling there, I should say. Third person masculine, singular, Calwell, consecutive, imperfect. And on page 442 in Brown, Driver, and Briggs, and page 444 in what? Kohler and Baumgartner. All right. Ben here means what? A separation, a space. All right? Bayen. Kadesh. Now we know what Kadesh means. It's Kadesh in Greek. And between Yuvan. See that word "you" on the front of that? All right, that's an "and." That's a conjunction, and then and between. Sure. We know where sure is in the Bible. Talks about sure a lot. Between sure and he became a camper. He camped there. He was a not a permanent resident, but a resident that was a full-time RVer. He was a nomadic people. Most of the American Indians were nomads in this country. Most of them were nomads. Sometimes they would have main towns where they would have a summer place and a winter place, but they'd move from one place to the other. The Apaches, they had orchards and cornfields and things. In the summertime, they would live there, and then they would go up and live in the mountains or whatever else in the different times of the year. They would go hunting, and of course the Apaches, they did a lot of raiding and killing and fighting and warring. All right? But they moved around. They were nomadic people. 20 in verse 2 now. Wayomer, Abraham, El Sarah, Ishto, Achati, E, Wayishla, Abimelech, Mileke, Gerar, Wayikra, Et, Sarah. Here's a sorry stage of life. And said Abraham, then kept on saying and kept on convincing. That comes from a Meyer Bear, by the way. Look down at page 55 in Brown Driver Briggs and page 65 in Kohler and Baumgartner. And if you look at that word on the front there, that's on page 253 in Brown Driver Briggs. Abraham. Do you have Abraham written down below that? Did I write it in Greek? No? Abraham. Okay, Abraham. Unto. Page 40. El for God and El for unto is basically the same thing. Page 40 to page 42, if you want to write that down, you'll see all the explanations of that El. Sarah. Page 979. What does Sarah mean from? Where does it come from literally? What is the root of Sarah? It's Ser, which means prince. And what does a prince do? A prince fights, and he conquers an area, and he becomes the prince or the conqueror of that area. And then he's when you talk about a prince in the Bible, it is a prince that has won his area. He has won a certain area. He has conquered that area, and he's been contentious, and he's battled, and he's fought. And that's what the word Sarah means, and Sarah means the same thing. And then Israel. The name Israel comes from the name Sarah also. Israel means what? Well, the one who wrestles with God. But I want you to really understand something in Hebrew. We're going to get to this, I think. But Jacob wrestled with God. But really, Jacob didn't wrestle with God. God wrestled with Jacob. God wrestled with Jacob. He came down and God wrestled with Jacob. Jacob wasn't quite converted yet, was he? Jacob tried to make a deal. How many people try to make a deal with God when it comes to salvation? How many do that? Huh? Just about everybody wants to make a deal with God. And you'll just say, Lord, I will serve you what? What's the next word? If. I will serve you if. I'll go to church if. I'll do this if. That's Jacob. He wanted if. He said, I will recognize you as my God if you protect me. If you do this. If you do that. If you protect me from Esau. If you protect me from, who was that other guy? His father-in-law? And his uncle? Laban. What does Laban mean? Well, come on now, what does Laban mean? Anybody remember? Whitey. If you really brought it into English, it would be Whitey. His name was Whitey. All right? Laban. Old Whitey. He wanted to be protected from Laban. Laban came after him with all his armies and everything, and he was afraid. So he tried to make a deal with God all the time, trying to make a deal with God. We try to make deals with God. Well, God wrestled with Jacob. But Jacob wouldn't turn God loose. God crippled that man. Now the next time somebody came after him, what? He couldn't run. Boy, he broke down all of his excuses. Why did he cripple Jacob? Why did God cripple him? So he'd have to trust him. It wouldn't be an if thing, he'd have to. All right? When you come to God, I really like those 3 songs you sang, Brother Hayes, this morning. They had words in them. That was the gospel in those songs. A whole trust of God. You have watched over me. You have protected me in everything I have done in those songs. That's what God does for you. When we come to Him repenting of our sins and calling upon Him to save our souls and trusting Him with our lives. We talked about the ethics of the kingdom this morning in Matthew 5, the ethics of God's kingdom. Once you have given yourself to God, you're His. You're not yours anymore. But we keep trying to take ourselves back, don't we? Jacob kept trying to do that. Israel, one who wrestles with God, one who contends with God. The contentious one. Always trying to make a bargain. Always trying to make a bargain. We even have that in modern terms when you Jew somebody down. That goes all the way back to what? To Jacob. And kept on saying Abraham unto Sarah, Ishto. Ishto means his woman or his wife. Ishto, his woman or wife. My sister, Achiti. Achiti, my sister. My sister. Achi is brother. Achiti is sister. That towel in there, see, I kept telling you about that towel. My sister, she, and kept on sending Abimelech, king of Gerar. All right, the king Abimelech. Abimelech means what? Abimelech. What does Abimelech mean? Avi Melech. What is it? Okay, father of the king. That's what his name means, father king. By the way, there's a bunch of Abimelechs. All of the kings were called Abimelech, father of the king. That's what their name was. That was their title. Okay? The king, Melech, Gerar, of Gerar. And he kept on taking Sarah. Here's something's going to be in, he's going to be in trouble.
Can you explain the part where my sister, is he saying that's where he's saying it's his sister, not his wife?
Yep. Cindy, would you go back in that Amplified Bible, and I want you to read 1932 all the way up to 20 and verse 2 for me. Okay?
Come, let us fill him with wine, and then we will sleep with him, so that our plan will not come to an end. So they got him drunk that night, and the older girl went in and had sexual intercourse with her father, but he was unaware of her lying down or getting up again. The next morning she said to her younger sister, I slept with my father last night. Let's fill him with wine again tonight, and you go in and lie with him, so that our family line will continue. So they got him drunk again that night, and the younger girl went in and lay with him, and as before, he didn't know that anyone was there. And so it was that both girls became pregnant from their father. The older girl's baby was named Moab. He became the ancestor of the nation of the Moabites. The name of the younger girl's baby was Ben-Ami. He became the ancestor of the nations of the Ammonites.
Ben-Ami means son of my people. All right?
Go
ahead.
Now Abraham moved south to the Negev and settled between Kadesh and Shur. One day when visiting the city of Gerar, he remarked that Sarah was his sister. Then King Abimelech sent for her and had her brought to him at his palace.
He lied. Abraham lied to Abimelech. And who is Abraham? Now here we have another, this is the father of the faithful. This is the promise. Right over there, see where it says Israel? Go back over to the promise. That is Abraham. He's the father of the faithful. And the Hebrews 11th chapter talks in the father of the faithful. But what did he do? He's a prophet of God. He's God's man. He is going to produce God's nation. And he takes the woman that he's supposed to produce the nation with and sells her to another man. Sells her.
Did he do that before? Did he do that before to the Egyptians? He sold her?
Yeah.
Or he told them that he was his
This
sister?
is the Pharaoh. Now, he didn't learn his lesson yet. This is a money-making deal, I'm going to tell you. I believe, though Abraham was the slickest crook in the world, he knew that God, I'll turn this old fellow over here. He knew that God wasn't going to allow her to stay there. The first time he did it. Now here we have it the second time he does it. Now what happened when he left out of Egypt? What happened when he left out of Egypt? Pharaoh run him off and sent him off rich. Take all of this, take my slave. He got Hagar over there, didn't he? He had all of these slaves, and he had men slaves, women slaves. He said he had he donkeys and she donkeys, and camels, he camels and she camels, and all of this, sheep and cattle. And he said, "Get out of my country, leave, and do not come back. And here's a bunch of money with it. Go buy something someplace else. I don't even want to fool with you again. Your credit is no good here. Your presence is no longer required yet." So he goes here and he's going to do the same thing again. And this is a prophet of God. This is a prophet. Boy, that just tells us who are we. We're sons of Adam, aren't we? Adam's children. We are sinners. Sinners. Man is a sinner. That's what he is. We are sinners. What in verse 2? We're in 20 in verse 3 now? All right. 20 in verse 3. The old ungodly Abraham, the father of the faithful. Why-Yahweh. Asel thing. That's the Hebrew. Asel thing. And entered into Elohim. El toward Abimelech. Abimelech means what? Father of the king. That's a title. That's a royal title. Bahalom. In Greek, that's hypno. This is where we get the word hypnos. Right there. He hypnotized. In a hypnotic dream, he appeared unto Abimelech. Hypnos. In dream. Hypnosis. All right? Halayla. Wayomer. Lo. Inika. Met. El. Ha-Isha. Asher. Lakata. Wihu. Viulo. Baal. Right. And came Elohim. That's Theos in Greek. It's the whole Godhead. Unto Abimelech in a hypnotic trance, in hypnosis, in a dream, okay? In night. And he kept on saying to him, Lo, behold, you, Miet, you're about to die. Masculine scene of child perfect. You're about to be killed. Last night, I was talking in my sleep closet. Before I went to bed last night, I got an email from my cousin, and it was letters from my cousin Haskell. Haskell was a judge in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. He was my cousin. Haskell Paul was his name. And it started talking about John Paul Jones. Anybody hear about John Paul Jones? John Paul Jones?
Navy guy?
Yeah, the Navy guy. You know, when he was sick with his his ship was sinking, and they asked him if he wanted to give it in, and he said, I haven't yet begun to fight. And he whooped them. And his ship was sinking. Well, that's my relatives. Anyway, I read this, and I read his writing and everything. And last night, I dreamed all night long about my cousin Haskell. I dreamed about him showing me all over Paul's Valley and everything, and then come out here to California, and I was showing him out here. All night long, I dreamed this. And that wasn't hypnotic. It was just a dream, because I had called it before I went to bed. It had caused me to think about him a lot that night. I saw his words, and it was written to his sister, and love your brother Haskell, and all of this. And this was my uncle's children, my grandmother's brother's children. Well, this was not something that he read before night. This was not some mistake of a dream. This was not just a regular dream. You dream what we call REM, or REM, rapid eye movement, REM sleep, dreaming. This isn't that. This is God appeared to him in a hypnotic dream. That's how he inspired people with hypnosis. And God enters into his subconscious, into his mind, and he appears to him and talks to him. He said, you're about to die. I'm going to kill you. And then he tells him what? Oh, what is the other word for because in Hebrew? What's the other word? He. All right, but this one's all. All ha'isha. Because of the woman. The hinakos, because of the woman. I'm going to kill you because of the woman. Whom you have taken. You have taken lakata. You have taken. And she married to a man, to an owner. She has an owner. That's what it means there. She has an owner. Somebody has already purchased her. Back then, women were property. Now, men are property. You like that, don't you, girls?
I don't think they're worth
Figure that out.
All right. 20 and verse 4. We can't quit right there, can we, Cindy?
Okay.
Okay, 20 and verse 4. Wa'abimelech. Lo. Garah. Elika. Eliha. Wayomer. Adonai. Hagal. Dom. Ada. Adik. Adaik. This is where we get, Adaik is where we get Melchizedek, remember? Adaik. All right, Adaik. Melchizedek comes from this. Sadiq. Righteous. Taharo. Sadiq. So Sadiq. And then Taharo. And Abimelech Not had approached unto her, and he said, Lord, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. I'm a king, all right, but you're the King of Kings now. Adonai. The nation, even righteous. Tzaddik. Righteous. Will you kill and slay? A nation that is righteous, will you kill and slay? Cindy, can you read those last two verses that we have here?
But that night God came to him in a dream and told him, You are a dead man, for that woman you took as married. But Abimelech hadn't slept with her yet, so he said, Lord, will you slay an innocent man?
Yeah, he didn't do anything. I haven't done anything yet. But by the way, back in those days, they would make sure that a woman was, they would have a woman go through her period cycle, and then right at the beginning they would purify her, and then she would sleep with the king. Now they did that so that she would become pregnant very easily. All right, right at the beginning she would become pregnant. All right, that's the reason why they did it. They would be purified, and they would be pregnant. Okay. You want to quit there tonight, or you want one more? One more. All right. 20 and verse 5. Halo, Q, Amar, Le, Ahote, He, Wihi, Gam, He, Amera, Achi, Q, Vikam, Levani, Uvenikam, Uvenik, Yon, Uvenik Yon, and Kapai, Vasiti, Zot. Hello. The not. He said to me, he has said to me, he has said to me. That's the word, it's perfect there. He has said to me. My sister, Achiti. My sister. See that word Calvin there? That means it's a girl, a feminine. My sister, she, he, and she, even she has said. See that word she has said there? Third person feminine, singular, Cal, perfect. She has said, brother, Hachi. See the word, the two different words for brother and sister? And he, in integrity of heart and in cleanness of my hands, Hasiti, I did, or I have done this. I have done this thing. In integrity of heart, I have done this thing. Abimelech committed a sin of ignorance. By the way, I want you to understand this just a little bit. The sin of ignorance. Now, there are sacrifices for sin of ignorance, aren't there? Huh? There are sacrifices for sin of ignorance. How about sin of absolute rebellion? Sin of absolute rebellion. If you went out and killed somebody, what was the sacrifice for that? If you went out and killed somebody intentionally, what would happen? You got killed. Your blood got shed. Blood is sacred, people. Blood is sacred in the Bible. You don't go shed somebody's blood. That typifies their life. You shed that man's blood to the point of death, and the penalty for that is what? You die. You die. That's it. You die. If you committed adultery and stole somebody else's wife, what was the penalty for that? What sacrifice? Death. Okay? If you stole something, what was the penalty for it? Not always. According to what you did. Most of the time you had to pay back 7 times what you stole, or at least 3 times what you stole. To teach you, don't do that anymore. It's going to cost you 3 times more. You steal and it's going to cost you 3 times as much. If they did that to thieves today and they put him out there on the chain gang until they paid back 3 times, do you think that might work today? Yeah. It would sure slow them down, wouldn't it? It sure would slow down the prison systems too, wouldn't it? A lot of people would be out of work. There wouldn't be any prison guards needed. If they killed all the rats that really needed killing, capital punishment, if there was 2 or 3 witnesses to it, somehow. Okay? 20 and verse 6, and then we're going to quit. His sin of ignorance. Wyomer. In law. Ha Elohim. Bahalom. Dam. Anoki. Yaditi. Ki. Bitam. Lavanika. Lavavika. Asita. Zot. We esh sot. We esh sot. Okay. Gam. Anoki. Otka. Get turned over. Mihato. Li. All. Can. Lo. Nitatiti. Len. Goa. Eliha. All right. And he said unto him, the Elohim, in dream, in hypnosis, also I have known, God is all-knowing, isn't he? I have known that in integrity, in righteousness, all right, in integrity, in truth of heart, la, vika, lav is heart, lav. What is it in Greek? Cardia. Thank you. Boy, that was fast. You had it in your mind. Right? You did. You have done. Second person masculine singular, cal perfect. You have done. You have done. You have done this thing. And I restrained, even I, you. I did it. God restrained. First person construct singular. I kept on restraining. Cal, while consecutive and perfect. I kept on restraining you from sinning. Look at that word. Chata there. That's the word chata. What does chata mean? The root of that is chata. That means to go out of. That means to fall short. All right. This one means to fall short. This one means to miss the mark. I restrained you from missing the mark. All right. I restrained you from missing the mark, from sinning. Cal infinitive construct. Against me, li. El, therefore, El can, therefore, because of this, not. I have allowed to touch her. I have not allowed you to touch her. Afika, not allowed. Absaste, Altes, I didn't allow you to touch, to handle her, to caress her. I did not allow you to do that. Well, we'll start at 20 and verse 7 next week, the Lord willing, and the creek not rotten. 23 is today, isn't it? All right, 23. 20 and verse 7. Do you have any questions? Abe, you got any questions?
Is this same meaning integrity and pure Matthew chapter 5?
The purity of heart and integrity. In other words, he was truthful. He was honest. He was truthful and honest. And I was going to use a little illustration right there, which I did. The government in Oklahoma, it was called Indian Territory. But the government said the American Indians were not civilized. They were not civilized. The reason why they were not civilized is that they had no greed. The Indian nations were communist little countries. Every nation took care of itself. It was a socialist nation. Okay, that's what they are, all socialist nations. And there was no greed in them. And they said until the American Indian wanted more than what his neighbor had, he would never be civilized. And this is down in writing. These are little socialist countries. These are little socialist countries. Until they learn to want more than their next door neighbor has, then they cannot be civilized. Because they'll give it to you. You walk over there and say, I like that cow, they'll give you that cow. I went one time to an Indian friend of mine's house, and I said, oh, you have some beautiful geese out there. He says, when are you going to pick them up? Then I remembered I was talking to an Indian. I'm not supposed to tell him that I like something because he's going to give it to me. Greed. They said this man was not selfish. He was not greedy. He had purity of heart. He didn't lie and steal and cheat. They said until the Indian learns how to lie and cheat and to deal, that he's not civilized. Because he can't live with the rest of us until he learns how to do that. Until he learns that, he's like a child. I think sometimes God would like all of us to be little children, wouldn't he? For such is what? The kingdom of heaven. And this Abimelech here was honest. He was integrity of heart. And he wasn't trying to steal his wife. He didn't want his wife because she was pretty. Evidently she was pretty, but there was some real bad things going on right here with Abraham. He let his wife dress like a virgin. He let her face be uncovered so they could see her face. She was not supposed to have her face uncovered, and if she had her face uncovered, she's supposed to have a ring in her nose. So she took the ring out of her nose. All the women had a pierced place in her nose where a ring that could be placed. And once the ring was in her nose, it means that she was somebody else's property, and she didn't have the ring in her nose. Abraham was intentionally trying to, what? Deceive him. He was pure of the heart, and remember, this is a prophet of God. Boy, what a deal. And God, because God is righteous, because God is just, and God is truthful, He let this be written down in His book. Now, if you were going to start a religion, Brother Roger, would you put that in your book?
I do cover up.
You'd cover it up. We'd all cover it up, wouldn't we? We'd try to cover these things up if we were trying to make him look real good. The Bible tells it all. That's just the way it is. He sometimes takes the sinners, takes the lost people, and say they're more righteous than the prophets of God. And that's what he did right here. All right. Are you ready to go out and do something eternal? Thank you for bringing that up, brother. I'd say I could finish the rest of my message that way. Okay. No, yes, no more. Cindy, would you dismiss us in prayer, please?
Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessings that you've given to us. Thank you for the opportunity to come and listen to your word again today. I just pray that you would allow me and the people in this class to realize how much you love us and how much you've given to us, and that you take care of us each and every day. Help us that we rely on you and not worry about what you're going to do to take care of us, that we just know that you will. I just pray that you be with us this week so that we can come back again and learn some more. I ask this in your name. Amen.
Cool.